Friend slop. What a weird little term people who are entirely too online came up with. I need to make a whole review just on that term alone, but I won't, as I believe my sanity. Unfortunately, it kind of fits with the games that I recently played a lot. You know the ones. Games that look like Unity asset flips, incredibly buggy, kind of weird, and off the left field, but incredibly fun to play with friends and waste a few hours on a random evening. Today, our item of business is Drive Beyond Horizons, a game that makes one ask, why am I playing a game that is just long drive with more bugs? Great question. I might try to answer that question in this review. I might not. I might not be able to. Let's give it a try anyway. The premise of the game is just you, or if you are playing with friends, your friends, trying to drive a car on a long road without seemingly any ends, trying to survive and drive as long a distance as possible. You will need to take care of your car, which is surprisingly a detailed process and realistic too, although it sometimes gets a little bit too absurd, entirely moving away from reality. Bugs usually help with that direction. We'll talk about those, don't worry. You also have a thirst, food, and water closet bar in your HUD. You have to find food and water, bring them with you, make sure you have enough, and make sure you don't lose them. You also worry about tires blowing out as they wear down the longer you drive. Things like engine oil and fuel are also very important. It sounds simple. You find these things along the road, load them into the car, and you use them when necessary. Well, loading things into your car is pretty difficult as they can get bugged, fly away, disappear, and all that good stuff that feels really fun when three of your wheels blow up at the same time as you go down full speed down the highway. You come across different buildings and structures as you drive. You can come across billboards, radio stations, gas stations, supermarkets, and so on. There isn't too much variance. Once you have seen like 5 to 10 places, you have seen them all basically. And even though the loot inside of them is randomized to a degree, the locations are exactly the same every time you come across them. There are even some enemies, zombies I guess, that you come across and have to deal with. You can find guns and carry them with you. If you have a keen eye, you might even realize that above your garage at the starting house are like 4 RPGs just attached to the wall. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, but don't shoot them anywhere near your car, especially if your run is going good. You can find new cars and car parts that you can use on your journey. You are not attached to one car and can use different cars, switching engines, tires, and all that good stuff. Some engines need diesel, some need gasoline. It's pretty varied and fun. The game does not warn you as you try to put the wrong thing into the engine, put water in the engine oil slot, or try to drink it for that matter. Tires blow out, engines overheat, and as you crash, your doors and even the steering wheel might fly away. You have to be ready for whatever the game throws at you, bring replacements for pretty much everything, and make sure to have enough resources to keep you alive as well. The game is incredibly buggy. Everything you touch has a chance to fly away, disappear, get stuck. You also get thrown to the stratosphere if you are not careful as well. That's usually a bummer, so be careful. If something makes it so that you cannot drive anymore and you are nowhere near a building, your run might be over if you don't want to run all the way to the nearest building, that is. These things may happen because you forgot to bring enough gas or other things that play well with the game's survival and resource mechanics, although they usually happen from egregious bugs. The game is fun to play for a few hours, but that is only the case if you are very tolerant to bugs and see them as an enjoyable part of the game, like how watching an incredibly bad movie is fun in its own way. I haven't laughed this much because of a game's bugs for a while. The player models are very emotive, they also get bugged, get stretched, and do weird things. I am not sure how the core of the game would react in some of these ways. There's actually an end goal to this game, believe it or not. You have to grab the rocket launcher from your home or wherever else you may find it, drive for 50 kilometers, and spend the night. If you achieve this, which is easier than it sounds, especially the 50-kilometer bit, you are attacked by a UFO and aliens and have to shoot them down. Pretty out of nowhere, that's for sure. In our only successful run, we were captured by the aliens. The game just ended with the you've been captured by aliens showing up in the middle of the screen and a rank at the very top. There is an endless mode as well, where you try to cover as much distance as possible, and a leaderboard accompanies your achievement, though I'm sure the leaderboard is completely borked as well. Overall, it is basically the same game as The Long Drive, only more absurd and buggy. Though I can't comprehend how both of those things are possible, but they are. It is fun for a few hours, especially with friends, and new content is constantly being added to the game. In its current state, it is a buggy mess that is a chore to play. I yearn for a game with this premise that is much less buggy, more playable, and with more content.